Greetings. Today let us talk about the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, which is known as NAAC, which plays an important role in maintaining and improving the quality of higher education in India. This NAAC was established in 1994 by the University Grants Commission, UGC, and its main office is in Bangalore. NAAC was created as a result of the National Policy on Education and the Program of Action, which wanted an independent body to look after the standards in higher education. Since then, NAAC has worked with great dedication to make quality a part of every higher education institution in India. NAAC's main aim is to build a culture of quality among universities and colleges. They do this by encouraging both internal checks by the institution and external assessment by expert teams. NAAC wants to improve teaching, learning, and research while also promoting accountability, innovation, and the use of new technology in education. NAAC vision is clear: to make quality the central part of higher education in the country. NAAC core values are behind the assessment to guide this mission. NAAC follows 5 important core values. First is contributing to national development. Universities and colleges, they are expected to support the country's progress through education, training of people who can serve society and the economy. And the second one is fostering global competence. In today's global world, institutions must help students become skilled and competitive internationally, often by working with industries and communities. And third one is building a strong value system. Building a strong value system. Skills matter, but values such as honesty, respect, and cooperation, they are even more important. Institutions must help students develop such values. And fourth one is using technology. NAAC encourages the use of ICT, information and communication technology, in teaching, governance, and daily operations to make education better and more efficient through this ICT. And the fifth is the quest for excellence. Institutions must always aim to become better and reach new standards of quality. And now, let's check the process of assessment and the process of accreditation. Over the years, many institutions, they have been assessed and accredited by NAAC. Some of those institutions, they have even gone through second and third cycles of accreditation. The process is always a partnership. The process is always a partnership. The institution prepares a report called the self-study report. We call it as SSR. And NAAC arranges for an expert peer team to review it and visit the campus. In 2017, NAAC updated its framework. This new version is more digital, data-driven, and transparent. Instead of only relying on expert opinions, this process now uses a mix of online evaluations and peer reviews. Around 70% of the final score is based on system-generated data, and the remaining 30% comes from expert review. This new system, it has fewer coaches, fewer days of campus visits, and is easier to manage. It also includes feedback from students and feedback from alumni, and it allows comparison with the international standards. One of the most important parts of the accreditation process is the self-study report. This report is prepared by the institution with the help of everyone involved, from the management to faculty, staff, students, parents, alumni, and even employers. This helps the institution to understand its strengths and weaknesses and plan how to improve them further. It creates a sense of ownership and a sense of pride among everyone involved. NAAC is making full use of digital tools to improve the entire process. Institutions are encouraged to maintain online systems for data management and to have the websites that provide clear information for all stakeholders. NAAC also ensures that institutions moving into the second or third cycles of assessment, they get a chance to show how they have improved since the last time. This approach supports ongoing progress. Once the peer review and digital evaluations are complete, then NAAC announces the final result. Institutions that are not satisfied, they can go for reassessment or appeal. NAAC has also made clear provisions for future cycles of accreditation, helping institutions to continue their journey towards excellence. This entire process, it encourages universities and colleges to reflect, to grow, aim higher every time. Then let us understand the NAAC quality indicator framework. We call it QIF, the quality indicator framework. It is at the heart of the assessment and accreditation process carried out by NAAC. Through QIF, universities and colleges, they are evaluated on 7 important areas that reflect their main functions and activities. This revised framework, it includes not just economic and administrative matters, but also new and emerging concerns in higher education. So let's see these 7 core criteria of assessment. Then let's start with the curricular aspects. Teaching, learning and evaluation. Research, innovations and extension. Infrastructure and learning resources. Student support and progression. Governance, leadership and management. And institutional values and best practices. Each criteria is broken down into key indicators. And these are further divided into specific metrics. These metrics are points where universities give their detailed responses, and based on these responses, their quality is assessed. Then let's see curricular aspects. The first criteria, curricular aspects, they look into how the curriculum is planned, how the curriculum is designed, and how the curriculum is implemented. A university is responsible for creating and updating the curriculum for all its programs. It must define what outcomes each program aims to achieve. These are called program outcomes, program specific outcomes, and course outcomes. These reflect the knowledge and skills students are expected to gain. Autonomous colleges, they have similar responsibilities. They must involve experts, they must use stakeholders' feedback, and they must design flexible courses that match the needs of students and the changing demands of society. Their focus often includes employment, entrepreneurship, and skill development. In the case of affiliated or constant colleges, their role in curriculum design is limited. They follow the curriculum provided by the university, but implement it in their own way. Each college brings its own flavor and its own values into this process, depending on its vision, resources, and priorities. This is how even colleges with the same syllabus can offer unique learning experiences. Then let's see, economic flexibility is about giving students choice. academic flexibility. A good institution, it provides options in terms of subjects, interdisciplinary studies, timelines, and enrichment courses. Colleges are expected to offer extra programs that may not be part of the main syllabus but help students to grow. These could include topics like gender awareness, environmental issues, ethics, and creativity. Universities and colleges that offer such value-added programs, they show they care about the holistic development of students. Feedback from stakeholders, students, teachers, employees, and others, it is very important. It helps the institution understand how relevant and useful the curriculum is. A responsible institution not only collects feedback, but also analyzes it and makes meaningful changes based on it. This continuous loop of improvement is key to maintaining quality. The second criteria, it focuses on how institutions teach and evaluate students. It considers how well the university or college supports students from different backgrounds and how effectively it makes learning inclusive and engaging. Institutions must use modern and interactive methods like group discussions, projects, debates, internships, and digital tools to enhance learning. The idea is to go beyond lectures and make learning more student-centered. Every student is different in culture, different in background, different in learning ability, and different in even in language. A good institution identifies these differences early and adapts its teaching accordingly. Some students may need extra help or special support. Institutions are encouraged to be sensitive to such needs and to make conscious efforts to be inclusive. In today's world, digital resources have become a major part of education. Universities, they must train their teachers. They must train their teachers to use learning management systems, LMS, and other tools to make classes more interactive and useful. Faculty are expected to shift from traditional one-way teaching to participative and collaborative learning styles, where students take part actively in the learning process. Then, the quality of education. It depends heavily on the teachers. Qualified, motivated, and continuously learning faculty members, they are must. Institutions must ensure proper recruitment, provide opportunities for training, and recognize the efforts of teachers who go the extra mile. Teachers who take the initiative to improve themselves and support the growth of students, they are the backbone of the strong academic institution. Evaluation is not just about exams. It is about understanding whether students have actually learned what they were supposed to. A good university or a good college, it conducts fair, timely, and transparent assessment. These evaluations, they must test not just memory, but also skills, creativity, and understanding. Feedback from these assessments, it should help students improve, and the institution must regularly update its exam practices to maintain quality. The real proof of good teaching is student success. Institutions are expected to clearly define what students should achieve after completing a course or after completing a program. These are called learning outcomes. When students perform well in exams and in life, it reflects how effective the institution's teaching methods are. Research, innovations, and extension in universities now places great importance on the research environment of a university. This includes how well the university promotes research, encourages innovation, and reaches out to society through meaningful extension activities. NAAC officials, they expect universities to take strong responsibility in building a research culture. This involves creating policies, providing resources, and ensuring support to faculty and scholars so they can carry out quality research that benefits society. The focus is on not just doing research, but also building a system where research can grow and be recognized. University officials, they are expected to lead the way in promoting research on campus. Without their active support, a proper research culture cannot be developed. Institutions must provide the needed infrastructure such as laboratories, equipment, and space. Administrative teams, they should show flexibility and quick response when it comes to supporting research proposals and projects. Universities, they are also encouraged to collaborate with national and international agencies, sharing resources, sharing knowledge to strengthen their research efforts. A strong research program, it cannot survive without proper funding and manpower. That is why universities must support faculty in writing proposals and applying for financial aid from external agencies. Then, university leadership. University leadership, it plays a crucial role by simplifying administrative process and encouraging interdisciplinary research. By doing so, they help teachers use the facilities better and push for higher quality in research. Innovation is another vital part of a modern university. NAAC officials look for institutions that create a system where creativity and new ideas are supported. This may include innovation hubs, incubation centers for startups, and partnership with industries. Universities, they are also expected to conduct awareness programs like workshops on intellectual property rights. Recognizing the achievements of innovators in the university, like whether they are faculty members, whether they are students or researchers, it helps to promote a vibrant innovation culture on campus. NAAC values universities where research leads to meaningful publications and recognition. Faculty and scholars, they must not only do research but also share their findings through journals, conferences, and patents. These outputs reflect the quality of the institution's academic standards. A university's reputation grows when its teachers publish widely and receive awards or receive fellowships for their contributions to society and knowledge. Then, consultancy services. Consultancy services in university, it allows faculty to share their expertise with external organizations. This is also a way for the university to generate funds and demonstrate the practical value of its academic knowledge. NAAC expects that universities, they should develop a clear policy for consultancy, including how revenue is shared between faculty and institutions. Such activities, they show that a university is trusted by industry and society. Universities must also serve society directly. Extension activities like community visits, awareness programs, and rural outreach are very key. These efforts, they help students develop social values and understand the real-world challenges people face. NAAC gives importance to such programs because they bridge the gap. They bridge the gap between academic knowledge and social needs. These activities are often linked to the curriculum and they are especially valuable in rural and underdeveloped areas. Then collaboration. Collaboration strengthens a university's link with the outside world. Working together with other institutions, industries or NGOs, it makes academic programs more realistic and more useful. NAAC suggests that such collaborations, they must be formalized through written agreements. These partnerships, they may include faculty exchange, student internship, joint research and training programs. Collaboration, it adds value to student learning and it gives more opportunities for teachers to grow. The way a university is governed, it tells us how strong and efficient it is. NAAC officials, they assess how the university handles human resources planning, faculty recruitment, trainings, staff performance, and finance, and also leadership decisions. This criteria helps us understand whether the leadership in the university is effective, participative, and visionary or not. When university officials, they show leadership by setting good values and encouraging participation in decision making, it becomes easy. It becomes easier to achieve the institution's mission. A university that successfully brings together its academic and administrative functions is more likely to fulfill its goal. This kind of harmony, it shows true commitment to the institution's long-term vision. To plan and to grow properly, the leadership must have clear goals and clear strategies. The university authorities, they are expected to align their academic and administrative activities in a transparent way. This strategic planning, it improves the quality of education and services provided to students and staff. Faculty empowerment is a key part of this criteria. It is important. It is important that university staff, they feel supported and they feel encouraged to improve their skills. From hiring to training, and from performance reviews to professional development, the institution must help the faculty members to grow in their careers. Regular feedback and response analysis, it should be used to plan improvements. University officials, they must take steps to maintain high professional standards among the staff. Financial strength and transparency, they are also part of good governance. University administrators, they must plan budgets wisely. They make the best use of funds and they must ensure proper auditing. There should be clear methods for raising additional resources and every rupee spent must be properly accounted for. The university is also expected to have a strong internal quality system. The Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC. It is responsible for maintaining high standards across academic and administrative areas. The university must review its performance regularly through audits and follow quality management practices. A good IQAC ensures that the university is always improving and moving towards excellence. Institutional values and best practice. A university is not just a place for learning. It also has a duty to respond to the world around it. NAAC officials, they look at how universities promote values like gender equality, environmental care, societal responsibility, and ethical behavior. These values must be visible in everyday activities of the institution. A responsible university, it shows aim for social issues. Officials, they must organize gender awareness programs and promote respect for all individuals. The institution should also take visible steps to protect the environment, such as conserving energy, harvesting rainwater, managing waste, and creating a green and clean campus. The needs of differently abled persons must be also considered. These actions show that the university is serious about its role in building a better society. Some practices developed by universities themselves, they turn out to be very effective. These are called best practices. NAAC values such efforts highly. These practices, they may be related to teaching methods, office systems, maintenance, or even how people are treated. The key point is that these practices have made life better for the university community. They were not imposed from outside, but created from within. When something works well and helps in smooth functioning, it becomes a best practice. Each university has something that makes it unique. NAAC encourages institutions to identify what makes them different from others. It could be their approach, it could be their culture, it could be their achievements, or it could be their focus. This special quality becomes their distinct identity. It reflects in everything they do and becomes the soul of the institution. According to the guidelines laid down by the NAAC, any higher education institution, it is eligible to apply for assessment and accreditation if it has been in existence for at least 6 years or has graduated 2 batches of students, whichever comes first. The NAAC has outlined clear conditions. It has outlined clear conditions to ensure transparency and fairness in this process. Universities, whether central, state, private, or deemed to be, or any institutions of national importance can apply. They can apply, provided they are approved by government bodies like the UGC or MHR. These universities must have regular students attending full-time teaching and research programs. Campuses within India, they are considered for accreditation, but offshore campuses are not. Colleges such as autonomous, affiliated, or constrained colleges, they can also apply if they are recognized by the UGC for affiliation. For those institutions that are already accredited, there are opportunities for reassessment or for applying in subsequent accreditation cycles such as cycle 2, 3 or 4. These institutions can reapply for a better grade after at least 1 year, but within 3 years of their last accreditation. NAAC officials, they require that institutions applying for the next cycle, they must submit their documents during the final 6 months of the current accreditation validity. In addition, NAAC allows other institutions to apply at its own discretion. One important requirement for all applying institutions is to upload their information on the All India Survey on Higher Education, AISHE portal. The AISHE portal. NAAC understands that not all institutions are the same. That's why it classifies institutions into 3 different categories: universities, autonomous colleges, and affiliated or constrained colleges. The assessment process involves 3 major components. First, the self-study report. Second, a student satisfaction survey. And finally, the peer team report. Each institution type has to respond to a set number of total metrics. Universities are assessed on 115 metrics, autonomous college on 107, undergraduate affiliated colleges on 93, and postgraduate affiliated colleges on 96 metrics. These metrics are based on two types of data. One is quantitative, things like numbers, facts, and statistics. The other is qualitative, narratives and explanations based on internal practices. Different criteria carry different weightage for each type of institution. For example, under the criterion of curricular aspects, universities and autonomous colleges, they are evaluated on curriculum design and development, while affiliated colleges, they are evaluated on curricular planning and implementation. Universities have a weightage of 150 marks in this area, while affiliated colleges have 100. When it comes to teaching, learning and evaluation, all institutions, they are assessed with the high importance ranging from 200 to 350 marks depending on their type. The focus here is on student diversity, teacher profiles, evaluation methods, learning outcomes, and how satisfied students are with their experience. For research, innovation, and external activities, universities have a larger share of 250 marks, highlighting the importance of research output and partnerships. Autonomous colleges and affiliated colleges, they have slightly lower weightage due to the structural and resource limitation. Infrastructure and learning resources, they carry equal importance across all institutions with 100 marks. This reflects how NAAC values physical and digital facilities, libraries, and maintenance practices across the board. Student support and progression is another crucial area. It assesses how institutions support students during and after their studies. This includes career guidance and alumni engagement and co-curricular activities. Universities and autonomous colleges, they are evaluated on 100 marks, while affiliated colleges are evaluated on 130 to 140 marks depending on the level. The governance, leadership and management, this criteria carries equal weightage of 100 marks for all types of institutions. It covers how well the institution is managed, how leadership is exercised, and how staff are empowered. Institutional values and best practices, they receive 100 marks. This includes how the institution promotes social responsibility, environmental awareness, and ethics, as well as any unique practices that make the institution distinct. The total score. The total score for all types of institutions is 1000 marks. However, in cases where certain metrics do not apply, there may be a slight variation in total marks, usually up to 3%. Universities and autonomous colleges, they are expected to focus on curriculum design and development, while affiliated colleges are evaluated more on curriculum implementation. This comprehensive process, it ensures that every institution, no matter its size, no matter its structure, it is evaluated fairly on quality, performance, innovation, and its impact on students and society. The officials from NAAC and the respective universities involved, They are expected to upload transparency, quality, and consistency throughout the assessment and accreditation journey. The National Assessment and Accreditation Council is not, it has clearly defined the procedures. It defined the procedures for universities to follow during the assessment and accreditation process. University officials, they are encouraged to study these steps carefully before they are applying. Eligible universities, they can submit their institutional information for quality assessment, also known as IQAC, at any time of the year. If accepted by the NAAC, the university can proceed further. If rejected, NAAC will give suggestions for improvement, and the university can reapply up to 2 more times in the same year without extra fees. After that, a new application and a new fees will be required. Once IIQA is accepted, the university is expected to submit a self-study report within 45 days. This report is to be filled and uploaded online on the NAAC website. The SSR is a detailed document and it needs to be well prepared in advance. If a university cannot meet the deadline, they must start the process again from the beginning. Extensions are granted only in rare cases, such as natural disasters or technical issues, and only for a maximum of 15 days with the proper approval. The SSR must be submitted only online. After submitting it, the system, it sends a confirmation to the university's email, and the same report must be uploaded to the university's official website. University staff, they should study the NAAC manual and they should follow all instructions on the portal, including using the tooltips provided for each section. In certain cases, some metrics may not apply to a university. NAAC allows them to opt out of such metrics, but only up to a limited score weightage. However, some important areas like curriculum, teaching, and governance, they must be reported without exception. The decision to opt out, it must be made before the SSR is finally submitted. After submitting the SSR, NAAC begins the data validation and verification process. It is called DVV. This step checks the accuracy of the data the university submitted. If mistakes are found, the university will be asked for the clarification. The entire DVV process will be completed within 30 days. Only if the university scores at least 25% in the quantitative part after DVV, it will qualify for the next stage, which is the peer team visit. If not, the process will stop and the university must reapply after 6 months. NAAC will inform the university about the result of the pre-qualification stage. If successful, a peer team will send for an on-site visit to evaluate the qualitative aspects of the SSR. The team members' names will be shared only 3 days before their visit. At the same time, a student satisfaction survey, it will be conducted. The university must upload contact data of at least half of the current students. If students' responses fall below the required number, that part of the evaluation will be skipped. The peer team will stay for 2 to 3 days, depending on the university size. Their focus will be on evaluating qualitative indicators like teaching quality, student engagement, and leadership. Universities do not have to worry about travel or accommodation arrangements, as NAAC handles all logistics and payments for the peer team. Universities must create a link. Universities must create a link on their home page where they can display documents such as SSR, peer team report, AQAR, and accreditation certificates. This ensures transparency and easy access for all stakeholders. The final assessment result consists of 3 parts. The first part is the peer team report, which includes general information, detailed analysis, strengths and weaknesses, and recommendations for improvement. The second part is a visual summary of the quantitative data. The third part is the grade sheet, which combines all scores from both qualitative and quantitative parts in the student survey. Based on the final score out of 4.00, the institution receives a grade ranging from A++ to D. Institutions that score 1.50 or below are marked as not accredited. This outcome will be published on both the NAAC and the university website. Although the processes are collaborative and transparent, if a university is not satisfied with the outcome, it may file an appeal. They must submit their intent within 15 days and the official appeal from within 45 days along with a non-refundable fee. NAAC will then assign an appeals committee which may decide to revisit or re-evaluate the process. The committee's decision will be final. Universities must strictly follow the given timelines at every stage. Non-compliance, especially during the DVB process, it will result in cancellation of the assessment and loss of fees. Such universities, they can apply again only after 1 year from the date of completion. Sometimes a university may want to improve its accreditation grade. For that, the institution can go for reassessment. They can go for reassessment, but only after 1 year has passed and before 3 years are over. This option is available only once in a particular cycle. If a university chooses reassessment, it cannot apply again in the same cycle. This same rule and procedures used in regular assessment will apply to reassessment.